it went up 6-7%. Okay, yeah, as you can see, okay, most of the tech went up by about 2%. Okay, as compared to the S&P 500. All right, semiconductor, everything went up. So everything related to AI, it actually kind of re-accelerate back. Okay, so it kind of means that, the buyers and everything are still very, very interested in the AI thing. Imagine if there's a bubble and people are scared, people are running away, then why is it that, when this recovery happened, these are the area that actually so-called went up the most and recovered the most. You can see when it dropped, right, one day it recovered like almost 30% to 40% of the drop. So that is actually quite significant. Okay, that's actually quite significant. Now, of course, things to also take note is that he mentioned that financial and small cap, okay, would actually have this advantage, right? If the Fed confirm an easing path. Easing path basically is the QE. Okay, so of course, the Fed mentioned that they might be starting QE, and also if the interest rate, okay, drop. Okay, if the interest rate go down. So all this, okay, I think everybody is looking at the December period, okay, where there will be another Fed announcement, whether interest rate will drop or not. All right. Then, of course, crypto related, okay, typically when interest rate drop, okay, it means that people are not, because, okay, think of it like interest rate drop means that the interest that you guys are getting from your fixed deposit, from a treasury bill and everything is going to be lower. Okay, so when the interest rate is so low, people start to look for alternative asset, okay, to grow their money. That's where when interest rate is at the all-time low or when it's relatively low, people go for riskier asset like stocks, like crypto, okay, as a way to actually grow their portfolio or rather to hedge against inflation, right? So interest rate drop is a huge so-called booster for the stock market, for the crypto market. Okay, so I think that's also something that he mentioned over here. Okay, yeah, so I think this is quite straightforward. Okay, so next, let me move on. Okay, so crypto specific. Okay, this is where he can be a little bit bullish. Okay, so please take it with a pinch of salt. Okay, Bitcoin, okay, could reach high 100K to 200K. Of course, right now it's about 106,000. So he is looking at doubling now, okay, to hit 200K. And of course, for Ethereum, stronger upside near term. Okay, then of course, he's looking at 9 to 12K. Okay, so that is like more than 100% gain by January. Okay, so I would say it's a little bit bullish, but you never know, okay? Especially when it comes to crypto, when it run, it literally run. Okay, it can happen within a very, very short period of time. Okay, so every time after the market run, then people will be like, yeah, I should have entered previously. Okay, but you realize that the time where you could have entered, okay, it could be months, like 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. Okay, but the moment it run, typically you will not be able to catch up with it. Okay, sorry, I just joined. Who is the he for crypto prediction? Okay. Okay, this guy is called Tom Lee. Tom Lee. He's the chairman of BitMine Immersion Technology. TOM space LEE. Okay, Tom Lee. So this is to answer Mabel question. Okay, so again, key driver. So something very important, right? He mentioned that if you want to know when will BTC, Bitcoin, or rather the crypto market will hit the peak, right? Okay, typically BTC doesn't peak until ISM 60, around 60. Okay, so what is ISM around 60? Later I will show you. Okay, then he also mentioned this thing, quantitative tightening. Okay, ending right in December removes a headwind. Headwind means that it's a resistance. Okay, so typically once the Fed go into QE, lower the interest rate, boom, market is going to fly. Okay, everything is going to fly. That's what he said. Okay, yeah, is it true? I do agree to a certain extent. Okay, yes. Okay, so let's take a look at the next slide to understand what is this ISM 60. So ISM 60 is basically the Institute of Supply Management. As you can see, these are all the theory. Okay, but basically, it is a leading economic indicator for the US manufacturing. So if the ISM reading is above 50, it means that the economy is growing, it's expanding. Okay, yeah. So of course, anything low means that it's actually contracting. So if it reaches 60, right, it means that, okay, typically the market is booming, people have a large or crazy risk appetite. Okay, yeah, so that's something for us to take note. Okay, so if you look at this particular chart, very, very interesting. I overlay the Bitcoin chart with the ISM so that you all are able to see. So you all should be able to see the chart that is actually on the I don't know whether which one is the background, okay, but you can see the candle. Okay, so what happened is that where is the peak? Okay, 2017, okay, around this period of time, you can see that, okay, at that point of time, crypto was actually at the highest point. And then where is the second peak? Okay, somewhere in April 2021. Now, if you look at the ISM, which is actually the blue bar that is actually at the background, okay, so you can see around 60. So that will be somewhere around this period of time, okay, somewhere around this line, I estimate. Okay, so he mentioned that if it goes to around 60, you have to kind of take note already. So you can see that 2017, actually, it's actually a bit earlier, okay, a bit, okay, this is close to 2018, so I would say that it's somewhere around this zone, okay, somewhere around this zone. So you can see that it's pretty close to 60. So for me, very simple, you don't wait until 60. If it's close to 60, then you might want to consider taking profit. You might consider running away first. Okay. Yeah. So where are we right now? You can see that we are here. Okay. We are pretty low. So if you start to see this thing going up higher and higher, higher and higher, okay, close to 60, above 58, okay, then just take profit. Okay, then it's time for you to get out of the market and run. Okay, typically when that happens, the market would have already run. Probably Bitcoin might hit 200K or more. Okay, so again, this one is in April 2021. Okay, so will be somewhere during this period of time. You can see the bar. Okay, 2021 to 2022. So April will be somewhere around that period. So you can see at the point of time, the ISM is also at its highest. Okay, so I would say that this indicator is quite a good gauge, okay, as to when are we hitting the peak of the crypto, okay, of the whole crypto market. So of course, you can see even if this is the peak, but if you hold long enough, actually you will still make money, because in the long run, it continues to go up. All right, but of course, imagine you saw this chart, you get out this period of time, I think you will be in a much better position, because if it drops later on, you can buy again at the much lower price. Okay, so that is just for us to actually take note. So even though the chart has actually gone up quite a fair bit, you can see the crypto price has gone up quite a fair bit. But if you look at the indicator over here, actually the ISM is still relatively low, okay, relatively low. So are we at the bubble again for the crypto side? Again, based on this, I don't think so. Okay, yeah, so far are y'all able to catch? If y'all understand, type U. Okay, where to get the ISM chart? Just Google. Okay, everything can be found on Google. Okay, everything can be found on Google. So don't worry. Okay, so far so good. I go a little bit faster because I know that I don't want to overrun too much. I got a lot of slides. Okay, then of course, very important. Okay, we need to see what are some of the key catalysts, okay, for crypto. Okay, so for him, right, he mentioned that it's going to go to 200,000. But to me, right, I like to look at what will cause crypto to go to 200,000. There must be something that's, if there's nothing, there's no news, then suddenly it just keep going out, right? Then to me, it can be very, very dangerous. Okay, so there must always be a catalyst. During my last live session, right, I talk about this thing called catalyst. Okay, so what are some of the catalysts over here? As you can see, number one is policy shift, that means rate cut. Okay, so if interest rate drop and you see crypto start to run, that's normal. Okay, so what are the news that we want to watch out for? December, will Powell actually reduce the interest rate or not? Okay, the second thing is institutional and ETF participation. Okay, are there more and more crypto related ETF, okay, or funds related to crypto? If there is, then it also means that the big players, they also want to participate in it. So that is typically a good sign as well. Okay, the next one is regulatory infrastructure build out. That means in terms of regulation, are there more and more regulation? Again, some people see regulation as a bad thing, but I see regulation as a good thing. Because when there's more regulation, it means that the government is interested in it, okay, for the long run. Okay, so whenever there's more regulation and when there's more clarity in terms of what can be done, what cannot be done, typically these are all good things. Okay, that this thing is here to stay. And typically, it's always good news for the whole market later on. Maybe short run, the market might react negatively, but in the long run, it's actually a good sign. Next, of course, is a little bit more technical. Okay, for people who are more into the crypto, then you will understand the on-chain data and usage growth. Okay, basically look at it as like how many users are using it and how much data or how much so-called activity is ongoing using all this crypto-related blockchain technology. Okay, then of course the tokenization of real-world asset. Okay, so I just want to touch on one thing. Okay, just want to touch on one thing. And that is actually this thing. Okay, the one in the middle, regulatory and infrastructure build up. So as you can see recently, right, okay, there's also a news by Coinbase. Okay, so what happens is that the Coinbase CEO, okay, he's actually working closely with the Fed, the government and all that to come up with a regulation, okay, for crypto. Okay, and based on him, he says that it might be coming up very soon. He says soon. Okay, but of course, he's in the crypto space. So sometimes he will use words that are a little bit more optimistic. Okay, yeah, a little bit more optimistic. So near maybe means that maybe it could be another 1 more year. Okay, yeah. So again, for us to take note, at least it's coming. All right. Then, of course, actually in July this year, right, the US actually passes the Genius Act. Okay, it's actually a kind of legislation for the crypto side. Okay, and you all can look at the chart also, right? Since July, is where the market actually break the all-time high and then started to run up all the way until 100 over 1,000. Okay, so typically all this news, right, is actually a good thing. Okay, it's actually a good thing. So don't have to be too alarmed. In fact, we want to watch out if there are actually this kind of news that's actually coming. Okay, now we also want to talk about some of the risk. Okay, so he mentioned that a lot of people are very fixated about this thing called inflation. Okay, the inflation is coming back up and everything is a bad sign for the market. Okay, but actually, if you look at the core data, okay, I would say that, I mean, based on him, he said that it's actually still pretty healthy. Okay, of course, it's not like low, but it is not increasing as what people are saying. People are saying like, eggs are increasing, everything is increasing. But if you look at the real data, actually, it doesn't really reflect the high inflation that is actually going on. All right. In fact, I think oil price has actually dropped quite significantly as well. All right. Then, of course, geopolitics. Okay, that means all the political things that is actually going on. In the short run, it might or might not affect the market, but he said that typically it will not derail the US earning and the equity. So it might affect short term, but typically after that, nobody will care about all this information. Just like, for example, the recent government shutdown. Okay, at first, people are worried about it and everything, but after that, nobody care about it. Okay, now whether open or not open, I don't think it's open yet. I think it's almost open. Okay, I don't think it's open yet. Yeah, but you can see that the market don't really have much reaction to it. After sometimes, they will reopen the government, and then the stock market will continue to run up. Yeah, so it could present a buying opportunity. Basically, that's what he said. Okay, tend to be a buyable shock. That means it might be shock to the market, but it's a buyable one. That means it's something that if you drop, then you better buy. Okay, so quite interesting term called buyable shock. Okay, so next, okay, I know a lot of words, so I try to explain a little bit in my own terms, so it helps you all to understand a little bit more. Okay, yeah, so Ivan say most important is Trump vested interest, and obviously Trump is a pro crypto, okay? Yeah, so his company is also one of the top investors, okay, who owns crypto as well. Okay, so obviously if he is pro crypto, then you know that he will come up with more and more regulations to so-called to push up the price. Okay, so he also has a recommendation over here. He said that basically this is the let me see the chat. Okay, yes, this is the playbook for those people in cash. Okay, don't try to nail the entry. Okay, dollar cost over 12. Basically, he said that if you're waiting for the market to drop at the perfect time, then you go in, or you're waiting for the perfect time, don't wait. Okay, just buy only. Okay, but of course, you don't want short buy at this point of time. You can actually kind of just split up your entry into maybe over a period of 12 months and then just buy regularly. Okay, so he also said that except the initial sell was a mistake. So previously when the AI stock, everything was going up, he actually sold off. Okay, but he also admitted that that was a mistake. Okay, yeah. So again, he is not 100% optimistic. If he's super optimistic, he probably will not sell. Okay, but he looked at the data again and actually he realized that actually he shouldn't have sell off. Okay, yeah. So he said that, yeah, just continue to buy, continue to compound the stock that you have, okay, and use volatility to your advantage. So I think that is something that is very, very important as well. All right, then of course, in terms of the Fed scenario, okay, if there is a cut, okay, interest rate cut in December, okay, and there's a confirmed easing, basically financial, small cap and risky asset, okay, will be up. Of course, AI is also still strong. Okay, but however, if there's no cut in December, in the short term, it might wobble. Okay, but there might also be a rising odds of leadership change or a de facto easier policy stance. Of course, Donald Trump has been saying that he's trying to remove Powell. Okay, so if Powell don't reduce in December, maybe Donald Trump will do something to remove Powell. Okay, but anyway, yeah. So short term there might be some wobble and some shock. Okay, but of course, I don't think that will be a long term. I think after that, eventually they will still reduce the interest rate. All right. Okay. Then, of course, this is something that is important now. Okay. When everybody says there is a top, there cannot be a top. Okay. Yeah. Everybody say, hey, market is going to crash already. Then it will not crash. Okay. So let the market tell you how to be positioned, anchored to earnings and not narrative. In short, this is something that I also believe in. Look at the business itself. If the business are making more and more money, okay, then typically you just want to buy them at a good price, at a good, valuation. Okay, so don't really have to really matter about the geopolitical, the politics, the overall economy and everything. Just look at the business. Okay, if the business continue to do well overall, then they will still continue to grow. Okay, buckle your seatbelt. Okay, because we have had a bear market almost every year recently, so expect volatility even in an up year. Okay, I think that happened recently, so y'all probably will be able to experience it. Okay, that drop that happened. All right, cool. So that is the market. Hey, haven't yet. Okay, I think one or two more slides. Okay, so number and guideposts. Basically, he said the S&P 500 to reach 7,000 to 7,005 possible by year end. Okay, Bitcoin high 100,000 to 200,000 scenario. Okay, Ethereum 9K to 12K by January. Okay, of course, for the AI side, there's a few constraints, which is GPU, silicon, and energy. Okay, and of course, the ISM 60. Okay, these are the point to take note, okay, to monitor. As of now, it's still like at about 48. So still relatively low. If it goes to 55, 58, that's of course the area where we want to start to, kind of take notice and consider taking profit from the market already. Okay, then of course, a quick one, re-add AI leaders on weakness. Okay, basically, if there's a drop like NVIDIA and all the AI company, right, then you can say you can actually buy. Okay, watch NVIDIA supply and energy capacity news flow. Okay, rotate into financial and small cap on clear Fed easing confirmation. Okay, crypto exposure. For him, he's more into Ethereum. Okay, yeah, then of course, stay systematic. Ignore perfect entry, manage emotion and not headlines. Okay, so that is a quick, not so quick market update from Tom Lee. Okay, how you're like Tom Lee sharing or not? If you're like, your type TL, Tom Lee. Or your prefer Bowen, your prefer Tom Lee or Bowen market update. Some of you have seen how I share market update. Both are okay. Yeah, so basically what I do is I take his how he look at the market and then I internalize and I explain in my own words. Okay, so okay, I think there's quite a few key things to take note. Okay, so I hope you all have taken down notes on where the market could be heading. Again, in short, he said that market gonna be volatile. Okay, if market drop, it's a good time for you to buy. We are looking at December, interest rate drop. Okay, then you can start shifting your asset into crypto, into whether is it stock, AI related as well. Okay, or even finance or small cap. Okay, then of course, what else? These are the main key thing. Okay, Bowen, better, more objective. Okay, I thought better be objective, better, more objective. All right, okay, so anyway, here's the top stopping. Okay, y'all want to make a guess or not before I release? Okay, for those of you who have listened to my sharing, you roughly will know because imagine I keep telling you this company is good, and then now it's not in my top 3. Something is wrong, right? Okay, something is wrong so typically this must be company that I've shared before. Okay, yeah. So guys, for those of you who have listened to my sharing before, okay, can you tell me what are the top 3 that I have? Okay. Let me see. Okay, AMD, Amazon, NVIDIA, Tesla, TSM, Meta, BMNR, Google. AMD, Tesla, and BMNR. Oh, interesting, Noel. Okay, let's see if you are correct. Okay, so here's the answer. Okay, number 1. Okay, Tesla. Who is correct? Okay, if you get it correct, congratulations. Okay, so why am I so bullish on Tesla? I think I have shared it previously in my other live sharing. Okay, but of course, for the benefit of those people who have not listened to my sharing before, I have a quick overall view, summary version. Right, I don't want to go into the full sharing that I did previously. Okay, that will take too much time already. Okay, but in short, what are some of the catalysts for growth? Okay, for growth. Number one is the Optimus. Okay, everybody is talking about robot nowadays. Okay, I think even in China, there's already a few companies that has been Unitree, and all that. They are really developing robots. Okay, suddenly you see like other than AI, robot is probably one of the big news that everybody is kind of like, or rather big companies is spending a lot of money to develop. All right. So why is this so important? Yes, XPeng just showed a new robot and you look at the share price. Okay, the share price went up by I think 13% or 16%. Today, pre-market is still up about 5%. Okay, just by showing a robot that really walks like a human. Okay, so that is for XPeng. Even though the car side is losing a lot of money, but it's okay. You got robot can ready. Okay, the price will go up. So why everybody is so optimistic about robot is because labor, manpower is one of the biggest market any business can go into. Okay, it is a multi-trillion market. Okay, it is a trillion market, not $1 billion market. It is a $1 trillion market. All right. So if you are able to actually get robot to go into any industry, then the market is just huge. Okay, so of course, you can see Elon Musk say Optimus robot is going to be Tesla's biggest product ever, larger than smartphone or cars. Okay, so again, for those people who still feels that Tesla is a company that sells car, they sell car because they need money. They sell car because they want to collect the data from all of the driver that are actually driving a Tesla, and they use the data to train their AI, and they put the AI into the car and also into the robot. So are they really a car company? The car is a byproduct. Okay, it's a by the way, in order for me to achieve something that is even greater, I do this. Okay, and just by doing this, by the way thing, they make a lot of money. Okay, you can see that Tesla in terms of the car revenue and the profit is crazy. Okay, but of course, let's take a look at the robot. They are actually aiming 1 million unit a year. Okay, and subsequently, when they start to scale up, they are looking at 10 million, guys. 10 million. When they sell car, they also don't sell 10 million a year. Okay, but in terms of robot, it's faster to build, easier to build. Okay, so that is also why they are able to actually scale it up so fast. Okay, and of course, the demand for it is huge. That's why they are projecting 10 million units per year. So can they make even more money than car using the robot? The answer is 100% yes. Okay, so that is the Optimus. The second one is Cybercab. Okay, so I still remember a lot of people saying that, can the car really drive on its own, and things like that. But this is happening. Okay, in case you still don't know that, there are actually driverless car and all that, you're just going to YouTube. Okay, you can YouTube. It's not just Tesla. There are a lot of other brands also, driverless car. Even in Singapore, I think there are some driverless van, somewhere in Singapore. Okay, somewhere in Singapore, I don't know where. Yeah, I think some in Punggol, some in the schools and all that. So all this is already happening. Okay, all this is already happening. Okay, so in fact, Cybercab is going to be the first ever driverless, so-called like a taxi. Okay, yeah. So they are going to mass produce in April 2026. Okay, so they already launched already. Okay, no, they haven't really launched the Cybercab. Right now, they have turned their recent Model Y into like a Cybercab. Okay, into like the driverless taxi and all that. Okay, but later on, they will have this golden color that look like a beetle car. Okay, two-seater only, no driver, nothing, no steering wheel, no side mirror, no pedal. Okay, yeah, so basically you just go in and then you tell the car where you want to go and then you will just go. Okay, and you can see that they're going to mass produce and everything by April 2026. It is not that far off. Okay, it is not that far off. So you can imagine just about 1 to 2 years later, right, on the road, maybe not in Singapore yet, but in US, right, there will be a lot of cars that are driving on its own without any driver. And a lot of people are using it to move from destination to destination. And why is this so powerful? It's because, right, the cost is way cheaper than any other transportation. Okay, way cheaper than any transportation. Okay, so they are disrupting, companies like Grab, like Uber, all these companies, they are disrupting. Even people will be like, do I even have to buy a car? Okay, where I can just take all this cheap transport, okay, to travel from point A to point B. Okay, so a lot of the market will be actually disrupted. Okay, now for everything to actually do well, okay, it relies on a very, very strong AI. Then, of course, this AI have to be placed into a chip, which is actually what they call the A15 chip. Okay, the A15 chip. So think of it, they say how powerful it is, right? It uses 1/3 the power of NVIDIA Blackwell, which is one of the most popular, highly demanded chip. Okay, but the cost of manufacturing this A15 is only 10%. Okay. Now, of course, people say that, hey, then will Tesla be a huge competitor to NVIDIA? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Will Tesla, in terms of this chip, right, be a huge competitor to NVIDIA? Okay, the answer is no. Okay. Why is it so? It's because they actually created this chip specifically for their own use. Okay, that means it's mainly used for their driverless car, it's mainly used for their robot. Okay. So for NVIDIA, they have to cater to a lot of different customers. So, you know, even though for them, for Tesla, they're able to produce a lot cheaper, it's probably going to be better, but because it's very specialized. Okay, so like Tesla cannot sell this chip to data centers and all that, it probably won't work as well. Okay, so don't have to worry that this is going to disrupt NVIDIA. Okay, but in short, this itself is extremely powerful. And this is also where Tesla is able to win its competitor. Okay, it doesn't mean that you can create a robot, that's it. You need to create a robot that is smart enough, that has a lot of data, that has a lot of AI power, and this chip will be something that other competitor might not be able to replicate itself. Okay, and the cost of making it has to be cheap. Okay, maybe you can see that, for example, Tesla versus a lot of other car company. Other people can come out with EV, but the cost of manufacturing a car for other companies is always a lot higher. So that is why you can see that I think in the whole world, right, in terms of EV brands, only about 3 to 4 brands, they are actually profitable in terms of net profit. Okay, Tesla is one of them. BYD. Okay, then of course we have what else? I think Li Auto also. Okay, so these are the few companies. The rest of the EV company, their net profit is all negative one. Okay, their net profit all negative one. Okay, so that is something that's important. Okay, next. Okay, so this one I'm excited and also not too excited. Okay, but in short, the Tesla Semi. Okay, basically think of it as this is electric truck lah. Okay, yeah, of course in the US, there's actually a lot of companies that use truck to deliver. Okay, whether it's your Pepsi Cola, your Walmart, your goods and everything. So that is something that's very, very common. So I would say that this is a huge market also. Okay, for the industrial side. Okay, so again, this will be able to reduce costs. I think they will disrupt the whole so-called semi-truck industry. All right. Then, of course, in terms of lithium itself, okay, they have their own refinery. All right, so that's also something that is actually good in terms of the supply. Okay, so you can see 3 mega launches all happening next year. Optimus, okay, which is I think in April, I think earlier on. Yeah. Not April. They will release, okay, they will show everybody how it looks like the version 3 in January. Then I think towards the later part of the year, they will start the mass production. Then we have the Semi, then we have the Cybercat. Everything is all 2026. So again, 2026 is going to be a huge year for Tesla. And again, these are all important news. Okay, so if all these news start to appear, everything start to become reality, then you will see the share price start to really fly. Okay, from here onwards. Okay, in terms of the chart itself, I also want to give you some of my personal view. Okay, so you can see that recently it has actually come down quite a fair bit. Okay, so what is this green zone? This green zone are my buy zone. Okay, buy zone. Okay, so if let's say Tesla were to drop, okay, then I'll buy. Okay, so in fact, now already recover but if it does comes back down, okay, this is also another buy zone. Okay, then of course, if let's say it never come down, how? It continue to go up. If it can break the all-time high, okay, this will also be another buy zone. Okay, so some people say, hey, Bowen, how come it goes so high already, you still want to buy? How many of you have that in your mind? Okay, how many of you, if you have, type yes, type me. How come the price so high, you still want to buy? Okay, so don't worry. Let me share with you. Let me just show you. Imagine now we are over here. Imagine right now we are over here. Okay, I show you the exact chart. Okay, I said right now, then the price is here. I say that if the price break above here, then you buy. Let's say, okay. Okay, but of course it came down, but of course you can, okay, so you can see this, right? I tell you, okay, I tell you, if it breaks above here, then you buy. So can you imagine if you never buy, you lose this whole upside. You lose this whole upside. Okay. So high will always be higher. Look at any share. Look at any, whether is it Amazon, Google, Meta. Their share price, is it all the way up one? Okay. So if you buy higher, it will go higher. If you got, basically it will always be going higher and higher. Okay. Yeah, so that doesn't mean that the price must drop, then you must buy. Sometimes when it go higher, it's also a good time to buy also. How do you derive your buy zone, liquidity zone? You can call it liquidity zone. You can call it, a lot of people have different names. Yeah, but basically you look at the support zone. Okay, yeah. Okay, these are area where there's a lot of buyer. Okay, typically these are the relatively better time to buy. Okay, relatively buyer time. Is Tesla price trend look like coming down? Okay, does it look like coming down? Okay, at least not for me. Okay, at least I don't see that it seems to be. This one is I draw one, by the way. Okay, this one is I draw one. I clear all drawing. Does it look like it's coming down? Okay, not to me. Okay, let me see. November 2024 to January going up. How you know when to sell? Okay. November, okay, to January. Okay, how do you know when to sell? Very, very good point. Okay, when to sell, there's actually different ways to look at it. Okay, so of course, okay, first group of people, they are the people that don't sell one. Okay, I hold on to dear life. Okay, so for example, if let's say today, right, I believe that in the next 5 years, Tesla is going to be a $2,000 company. So let's say now from 500, it goes up to 800. Will I sell or not? If I believe it's going to be a 2,000 company, will I sell? Yes or no? Yes or no? Help me type inside the chat. Yeah, I won't sell. Okay, but let's say it reached 800 and then it dropped back down to 750 or dropped down to 700. So it went up to 800. I never sell. It dropped to 700. What do you think I will do? I'll buy more. Okay. So there's this group of people, they just keep buying and buying and buying and buying and buying. Whenever it dropped, they buy. It dropped, they buy. They don't sell. There's no, their dictionary don't have this word sell. Okay. Yeah. Then of course, okay, for those people who joined my last session, right? Okay. There's also people who do what we call swing trade. Swing trade. Okay. So for example, I use this as an example. So let's say I enter over here. Okay, this is my entry. Okay, typically if this is my entry, this will be my stop loss. Okay, which means that if I enter here and I put my stop loss here, this is my risk. Okay, you all understand? If you understand, type yes. Okay, understand? This is my entry, this is my stop loss. So this area is my risk. That means I will lose this part if it drop. Okay, so it depends whether you're aiming for 1:2 or 1:3 or 1:4. Okay, let's say I aim 1:4. 1:4 means that, right, for every one risk that I take, I aim for 4 times the return. That means I aim for 1, 2, 3. I agak. Okay, so if I aim 4, then I will set my TP here. I will set my TP here. I won't be able to get out at the highest, but I will be happy with this return if I can hit my 1:4. You all understand? Understand? Yes, very good. Kelvin say use option. Okay, that's also another method that I use. Okay, the way of using options is I will just buy. Because we know that options typically the return will be more than stocks. Okay, so okay, let's say from here it's about 260. It went up to about 400. So that's like almost 100% gain. Okay, 100% gain. Okay, I just put it simpler. Okay, 100% gain in terms of the stock. So on the option side, easily it's about 3 to 5 times multiplier. Okay, so that will be about 300 to 500% gain. 300% to 500%. So what I will do is, as it go up, right, as it start to go up, once my option hit 100%, what do I do? What do I do, guys? Once my option hit 100%, I will sell off half of my position. I will sell off half of my position. So I take back my capital. So let's say I put $5,000, my 5,000 become 10,000. I sell half, I take back 5,000. What is my risk? My risk is 0. Then the other half, I just let it run. Okay, depending on how long I want to continue to run, but I got no risk. Okay, I got no risk. Okay, that's also one way that you can do to, of course, then you can, as you run, you continue to take partial profit, take partial profit, take partial profit. That's also something that you can do. Okay, I don't have the crystal ball to tell you, hey, 480, this is the time where it's going to come down. Of course, if you know how to look at the technical analysis and all that, based on the candlestick, you might be able to spot whether when will be, but typically you won't catch the highest. It has to come back down before you exit. Okay, yeah. So I hope, say again for the options, okay, in short, if my stock or options go up 100%, okay, I will take half, I will sell off half. That means I take back my capital. So I put 5,000, 5,000 grow 100%, now become 10,000. I sell off half my position. Let's say I bought 10 position. I sell 5 I take back half So I take back my capital. Then the other 5, I let it continue to run. Okay. If you hold long-term January, never sell, then it drop down, lose the profit, no choice Okay, in this case in the case of Tesla okay, you take back the capital, then you might lose you might lose. But of course, let's say you buy into other company like Nvidia or any other company, yeah, typically you'll be laughing all the way to the bank, okay, yeah. So like Tesla very volatile, it went up and then went all the way back down before it start to bounce up again. Okay, that's expiry. Yeah, just hold all the way typically, and or if you're happy with the return, I always say that if you're happy with the return, just take profit Okay, but don't take full profit Don't need to take full profit. You can sell off 10%, 10%, 10%, 10% along the way. Okay, if you only have one option lot, will you take profit or continue to hold? Another way to look at it is you can take profit first and then you buy into a slightly shorter term option. Okay, this one a bit more technical but when you buy shorter expiry, the premium required is lesser. So you can, let's say you sell already, you 5,000, you grow to 10,000, you sell. Okay, then you see which one got 5,000 worth one, then you just buy with 5,000. Okay, so that can also happen for CS. But again, guys, there's a lot of scenario. That's why I say all this, it actually depends on what suits your own risk appetite, what is your trading plan, what kind of strategy actually suits you more. Like for me, I monitor the market a little bit more. So I don't mind holding a little bit. I look at the market closer. I will be more active when it comes to my taking profit and my cutting losses. Okay. Then of course, for people who are inactive, then I'll just say that maybe you can use the first method Okay, just buy and hold. Okay, then the price drop, I ask you to buy more. Okay, yeah, so that can also be another method. Okay, yeah, can also roll over. There's a lot of method. Rolling more for people who are, for example, selling options and all that. Yeah, so that typically will roll more. Okay. Okay, let me see the time. Okay, guys, I have a bad news. I got 6 more minutes, but I still got a lot of slides. Okay, yeah. So, okay, I tried to end by 10:30. Okay, I tried to end by 10:30. Okay, the second one, AMD, Okay, I don't know why is this. Okay, but anyway, okay, for again, the second company is AMD. Okay, for those, I think recently I did a full sharing on AMD. Okay, how many of you managed to watch this live AMD? Type in 1. If you have not watched my live for AMD, type 0. I want to do something special for you guys, okay? I see how many 0 first. Okay, wow, I think majority is 0. A lot of people. Okay, for those of you who watch my AMD, can you help me to comment good or not? Okay, good or bad? For those of you who have joined my live. Okay, because I think there's a lot of you who have yet to actually watch this. Okay, so for those of you who actually show up today, who actually show up today for this live, right? Okay, I will send you my AMD and my Tesla live. Okay, my recording of previously that I shared, right? I will send it to you guys. Okay, then you all please go and watch. Okay, a lot of time I send, but nobody watch. Then you all will lose out. Okay, but I really need you guys to go and watch it. Because when you watch it, right? Okay, why I want to do a deep dive into all this company, right? Is because after I share with you the deep dive, right? Now, when there's any news, immediately you know what does this new means. Is it a good thing for the business? Is it a bad thing for the business? Everything starts to connect. For example, if you're new to crypto, I give you a news. You don't know this news is good or bad because why? You don't even know the whole thing, how it works. Okay, but after I do a deep dive, whenever you see any news, you are able to connect the dot a lot faster. So when I share more information about the update of this company, right, those people who have watched the deep dive, they will immediately be able to know whether, wow, this one is really like a super, super good catalyst, super good news, or is this a normal news, or is this a bad news? All right. So again, I want you all to really go and watch. The video you're referring, is it the last week session? Is it last week? I think so. Yeah, I think it's last week. If not, it's 2 weeks ago. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, I will share with all of you, for those of you who are here, the 2 live video that I did previously. Okay. Okay. So in short, okay, for people who have not watched it, they are going to launch the MI400 series next year. Okay. So that's also something that you all have to really pay a lot of attention. This thing is so powerful that they have secured a very big customer, and that is OpenAI. Okay, OpenAI secured a 6 gigawatt, okay, of chip. How much is that worth? It's worth almost 100 billion in terms of revenue. Okay, it is a 100 billion deal. Okay, and why this is a huge deal is because if OpenAI, one of the largest AI company, is working with AMD, it also means that this chip is good. Okay, so there will be more and more companies that is going to work with AMD. As you can see over here, okay, there's actually more partnership with AMD just recently. Okay, all these are very, very recent news. Okay, in fact, okay, you can see that the last few days, even the last 1 to 2 weeks, right, AMD has been doing massive acquisition. They are buying up a lot of companies. And one thing that stand out, right, is they are buying a lot of companies that do this thing called inference. Okay, inference. For people who actually watch my deep dive, you'll be able to understand, because why inference is something that's important. For example, like Tesla, what makes Tesla chip so powerful is, okay, basically when it comes to AI chip, there's 2 kinds. One is for training purposes. You train the AI. The other one is inference. Inference is whenever they take data, they are able to analyze it in real world use. Okay, so when we talk about robot, when we talk about robot taxi, when we talk about driverless, okay, inference is more important than training the AI, than the training chip. Okay, so you can see NVIDIA is very, very good at creating chip that is meant for training purposes, like ChatGPT and everything. All this is for training purposes. But in terms of real world use, okay, the inference chip is more relevant. Okay, so you can see that AMD is actually growing and really coming out strong in terms of this particular area. Okay, so I do see that AMD in the next few years will take quite a fair bit of market share from NVIDIA. Will they be bigger than NVIDIA? I don't think so. Okay, but will they be a significant, will they take over significant part? I would say yes. So that's something for you to take note. In fact, tonight, okay, which is actually in the morning for the US side, okay, the CEO of AMD, Dr. Lisa, is going to make a sharing, okay, to share the AMD roadmap. Okay, so basically, tomorrow, okay, I will actually update everybody in terms of what she shared. Okay, in this room, I think it's going to be, there's going to be so much more information. I don't know how the market is going to react in terms of the share price. We will see how, tonight also. Okay, so now coming to the chart itself, okay, again, one thing is AMD recently has actually gone up quite a fair bit. Okay, yeah, it has gone up quite a fair bit. Yeah, so that is also why I actually put my entry right over here and also at the bottom. Okay, also at the bottom. So if it comes back down, okay, this will be my entry. Okay, then recent, there's also one entry. Why is it that I didn't put the one that is actually even higher? Because I want to monitor and see how it goes. There's a lot of news that's ongoing. Okay, I do not want to overpay for this company at this current period as well. Okay, can ask your perspective, ONN, NVIDIA and TSM. I would say that definitely they are strong. Okay, they are very, very strong company. I mean, NVIDIA will still continue to grow very well because of the huge demand. TSM, no doubt, everybody rely on TSM. Whether is it AMD, whether is it NVIDIA, even Tesla, their chip is actually from TSM as well. Okay, the only risk is somebody is able to come out better chip, okay, than TSM. Okay, yeah. So that is the one super big risk. Okay, but as of now, they have the technology edge. So I would say that the demand is huge. Basically, TSM capacity is like 100% all the time, 100%. Okay, it's like the customer go to TSM, hey, I want so much. They say, sorry, cannot. You are not my big customer. You need to buy more, then I'll give you a space. Okay, yeah, TSM no competitor yet. Okay, but I think China and all that, they are coming up strong because they know that they need to come out with something on their own. Okay, but at least for the next few years, I think TSM will definitely still continue to dominate the market. Yeah, lor. Okay. Oh, so what is the third one? Okay, the third one is actually crypto. Okay, wow, crypto. Okay, I think this might comes to a surprise to quite a number of people. Hey, how come Bowen talk about crypto? Okay, yeah, as much as I am not a huge so-called tech guy, okay, I'm not a huge crypto guy, but if you ask me, is there potential in this space, right? I have to say yes, okay. So in the crypto space, there's basically these two big players. One is Bitcoin, one is Ethereum. Guys, can you tell me which one you prefer? BTC or Ethereum? B or E? B or E? Both lah. Some say no, cannot both. Must choose one. Must choose one. Must choose one. Okay, so mix lah. Okay, some say B, some say E. Suddenly all the Ethereum then all the Bitcoin come back. Okay. Maybe 60% Ethereum, 40% Bitcoin. Okay, let's see. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin actually launched 2009. Okay, as the first cryptocurrency, is used as a store of value and a medium of exchange. Okay, one key thing about Bitcoin is that it's limited in supply. Okay, 21 million coin only. Don't have, they cannot print more. Okay, that's it. So that's also why, in terms of the name, it's also known as the digital gold. Okay, investors see as a hedge versus the fiat inflation. Okay, so it's like a safe haven in crypto land. Whenever there's fear, okay, people move into gold. Okay, in this case, is digital gold. Right, so that's why you can see that in terms of the gold price recently, right, wow, gold has gone up a lot because why? There's a lot of uncertainty, especially the US dollar keep dropping and all that. So investors are parking their money into the non-risky asset or the safer asset. Rather, we call it the safe haven. Okay, so gold has this purpose. Okay, I mean, other than you can wear gold and all that, which actually doesn't serve much purpose. Okay, it's just used as a place to park your money, okay, and people see that it is safe. That's it. Okay, that's it. Okay, so where does the gold value comes from? You have to understand this. Okay, so central bank government. Okay, so whenever if the government buys a lot and all that, right? Okay, then of course the share price and everything will go up, lah. Then, of course, the pension fund or the portfolio manager, when they're looking for a safe place to park their money, okay, they also go into gold as well. So you can see, this is actually a recent news. Okay, this is March. Okay, hedge funds are increasing their gold holding. Okay, so you can see that typically this reflect gold traditional role as a safe haven during volatile period. Whenever market is volatile, people will go into gold. Okay, so that is the whole idea of gold. Now, if you look at this particular chart, right, it shows you the top 10, is it the top 10? Yeah, around there. Okay, the top countries that actually hold gold. So US is actually still number one. Okay, and how much gold does US have? Close to 1 trillion. Okay, close to 1 trillion. So that is a lot of gold. Okay, so because the government have so much gold, they believe that it's good. That's why there's value. That's why there's actually value. Okay, so what's the real use? I mean, yeah, it's just because it's safe, okay, and the government buys them. Okay, so now let's compare gold to Bitcoin. Okay, yeah. So if you look at ETF, okay, because just now I mentioned one thing, okay, in order for something for gold to have value, right, the government must buy them, then the fund must buy them. Okay, at the institution. So if you look at the ETF, which is actually the big institution, right, companies like BlackRock and all that, okay, you can see the ETF market cap for crypto, right, is 228 billion. Okay, as compared to gold, gold is still higher, but gold has been in the market for so long, right? Okay, but it's 426, and majority of it is also because recently it has gone up quite a fair bit. Okay, yeah, so if not, it should be about 300 over billion. Okay, so you can see that, right, there's a lot of money already flowing into Bitcoin, the digital gold, okay, from the real gold into digital gold. All right, now if you look if you ask the millennial, guys, if you look at the millennial, that means year 2000 and after, where do you think they'll park their money? Digital gold or real gold? D or R? The millennials. Digital gold or real gold? Okay, I would say that most of them will put their money into digital gold, which is actually Bitcoin. Okay, now, of course, in terms of the millennial, right now we are 2025. Okay, so that means they are about 25 years old. So in the next 10 years, right, all of them are going to be a huge, I would say that they are already starting to make money, okay, and they'll be making more and more money. So in the next 10 years, right, all these people, when they make more money, they put their money into the digital gold, there's going to be huge demand for it. Okay, there's going to be huge demand for it. So the demand for digital gold is going to increase, as the people who are interested in it is going to become more and more older, okay, as they start to make more and more money. I choose XAU. Yeah, no lah, okay, yeah, buy both lah, if you can buy both. Okay, then of course, if you look at the government, okay, is the government actually owning Bitcoin or not? Okay, so you can see the US government owns about 23 billion, okay, of Bitcoin. Okay, China, okay, as a lot of people didn't know, okay, China also is the second biggest country, okay, that owns cryptocurrency. Of course, these are declared one, okay, declared means that it's open, everybody knows about it, but undeclared, nobody knows, okay, undeclared, nobody know how much US government have, undeclared China, also nobody knows, okay, these are all the declared numbers, okay. But crypto illegal in PRC. Okay, they say illegal, but the government owns so much. So it's all about regulation. So before the regulation come out, they also want to be safe. They also want to play safe. That's why regulation is a good thing. Okay, if China were to come out with the regulation and all that, they start to open up the market, I can tell you, China is going to be the biggest, buyer of cryptocurrency. All right. So the next one is, in terms of retail investor, okay, basically retail investor typically, do they buy gold or not? They buy a bit, okay, but you can see for this digital gold, the retail investor are heavily invested in it. Like one of the largest retail investor, okay, not really retail investor, but they are like they are non-government and non-fund, but they are like the company, right? Okay, it's this company called MicroStrategy. So MicroStrategy, basically, they just keep buying, they just keep buying gold, Bitcoin. Okay, how much Bitcoin do they own? They own 68 billion worth of Bitcoin. So the whole company, basically, you cannot valuate based on earnings. They don't earn anything. Okay, if Bitcoin price goes up, typically this company share price will go up. Okay, yeah, so that's exactly happening. So yeah, some people, instead of buying Bitcoin ETF, they actually buy into MicroStrategy. Okay, so that's actually one strategy they do. Okay, so now if I were to pick one, which one would I go for? Okay, for me, I actually choose Ethereum. Okay, now let me explain. Okay, in case you're even when you talk so much about Bitcoin, then you tell me you choose Ethereum. Okay, yeah, I just want to give you guys a overall understanding. Okay, think of Bitcoin as the digital gold. Ethereum is like the digital economy. Some people call it the oil. Okay, the oil. Or rather the platform itself. Okay, yeah. So why I love Ethereum, right, is because there's actually real value to it. There's real, it's like, why do I love the buying stock? Why do I love buying businesses? Because there's a real business, the company make money, then the company distribute, money to the shareholder, okay, or the company increase the value and everything. Okay, that's why I don't, if you ask me between gold versus stock, 100% I would choose stock. Okay, majority of the investor will also choose stock over gold. Okay, gold will form a percentage of the portfolio, but majority of it will still be in stock. So similarly, okay, I see Ethereum as it has a real use for it. Okay, and of course, the key question a lot of people say that, but Ethereum, right, actually they can keep issuing. It's not like Bitcoin where it's actually limited 21 million in supply. Okay, Ethereum, it actually increases. Okay, but one thing you have to understand also, right, is that there's this thing called the burn rate. Okay, the burn rate. So every year, right, okay, they will issue a certain amount of Ethereum. But at the same time, when a lot of people is using Ethereum, right, it will also burn off some of the Ethereum. So if let's say the issuance is more than the burn, that means overall, end of the year, the supply is more, right? Typically, you see Ethereum price will come down. Okay, but if the burn is more than the issuance, okay, that means at the end of the year, maybe I make 100 million more Ethereum, but I burn 150 million. Okay, so net is minus 50 million in the whole market. Okay, then typically it will actually push the Ethereum price higher. All right, yeah. So think of it as over here, like at the bottom, okay, higher adoption equal to higher burn, equal fewer Ethereum, equal higher scarcity, equal bullish pressure. Okay, so when more and more people are using the technology of Ethereum, are staking Ethereum and everything, right? When there's more usage for it, right? Actually, it will push up the price of Ethereum itself. Okay, so that's how you can actually see the movement, okay, or the real use behind it. Okay, what do you mean by burn? Okay, okay, so think of it as like transaction fee like that. There's transaction fee. Okay, when there's more people using it, but except for this fee, right? Every time you use it, it will remove, it have to be burned off on, it have to be burned off. Demand and supply, exactly. Okay, so it's like oil If I use a lot of oil, then the oil will be burned off When there's a lot of manufacturing activity in my factory, right, then the oil will actually be depleted. So think of it this way Okay, whenever there's a lot of activity, okay, all this Ethereum will be burned off. Okay, reducing the overall supply. Okay, so again, this one you all don't need to fully understand because this is really, really very, very cheap. But I want you all to understand that Ethereum is not like Bitcoin, where it is just when there's demand, everybody love it, the government love it, everybody believe in it, then it will go up. It's just purely because it's limited in supply. Okay, but Ethereum itself has got in a way value to it. Okay, it has a value to it. Okay, yeah, but of course, don't worry. All these I will share with you guys. Okay, I will share with you guys. Okay, y'all go and digest. But of course, there's a lot of information about it. Probably later on, I will come out with one series that is just talking about crypto. Okay, so you'll have a better understanding. Okay. Okay, so again, major catalyst to watch. This one very technical. Okay, if you understand, you understand. Don't understand, don't worry. Okay, basically, number one is major network upgrades. Okay, yeah, institutional adoption announcement, just like I mentioned some of it, regulatory clarity, growth in DeFi tokenization real world asset on Ethereum, burn issuance dynamic shifting, layer 2 ecosystem maturing and adoption. Okay, if you understand, you understand. Don't understand, it's okay. Okay, basically these are the things like if you are really, really into crypto, you want to actually look out for all these news. Okay, you want to look out for all these news. Okay, these are more important. Okay. Okay, so Ethereum, it has been very, very volatile. It is not as bullish as the Bitcoin. Okay, because activity and everything have kind of slowed down. Okay, in the crypto space. Okay, so if you look at the price right now, I'm also a little bit more conservative. Okay, so if it can go down to the lowest one, okay, this will be my buy point. Okay, I think this is quite straightforward. This is my buy zone. Okay, yeah, but even if you look at right now, if it can recover back into this particular zone, I will say that it's still very, very bullish for me. Okay, so for me, right, this will also be my entry. Okay, this will be my entry. But where would be my first TP? I might TP a bit earlier at the top. Okay, close to the top. So if I enter here, I'll set my stop loss here. I will exit here first. Okay, these are more for short-term trade. Okay, but of course, if I'm long-term, right, if it goes above the all-time high, okay, that will be where, okay, remember, Tom Lee talked about being 9,000 to 12,000, 9K to 12K. So for that to happen, it must cross this all-time high. Okay, so if it crosses, right, I might actually go in again. Okay, if it cross, I might go in again. That's where probably we might see the price of the crypto of Ethereum going all the way to about 9,000 or 12,000 the next run up. Okay, recommendation option on IBIT. Okay, this one y'all have to make your own call. Okay, yeah. So, but again, you can see Ethereum. This is how I draw it. You can draw it on IBIT. You can draw it on Bitcoin itself. Okay, something similar. All right. Okay, so that is for the market update and the top 3 stock that I have for you guys. Okay, are you all getting a lot of value so far? If you got a lot of value, type V for value. Okay, yeah, let me see. Okay, we have 246 of you. Okay, the next part. Okay, let's just chop. Okay, because this one, to be honest, I'm very excited to share with all of you. Okay, because this is something that very, very rare. I have never done it before. Okay, In next level history, we have never done 11-11 special. Okay. Yeah, but I say that I wanted to do it. And I actually told my team that I want to do something really special for you guys. Okay, because I think the market right now we are at a very exciting period. Think of it. I always relate this to the dot-com bubble. Okay, to the dot-com part. Okay, yeah. So .com, of course, some people say that it's a .com bubble and everything. But imagine, right, during that period of time, okay, whether is it before the bubble or after the bubble, right, you invested into all these .com company, you invested into Microsoft, all these company back in year 2000. Can you imagine how much money you will have made right now? Okay, how much money you have made right now? Okay, so I would say that this is very important. So AI, please do not please pay a lot of attention to all the development in AI, in crypto and everything. Okay, because in the next 10 years and everything, this is going to go up significantly. It's going to go up significantly. Only for singles, okay? If you are single, I'll give you a bonus. If you're not single, then you get all the bonuses that I have for you today. Okay, benefit of hindsight, exactly. That's why knowledge is important. The more knowledge you have, you're able to see a little bit further as well. You're able to take action faster than other people. Okay, so what exactly is this 11-11 special? Okay, so let me share with you this. Okay, how come I cannot go next? Okay, so how many of you are inside GoLeap? Or rather, how many of you are not yet inside the GoLeap community type 0? Okay, how many of you are not yet inside the GoLeap? 0. Okay, I see how many of you first. If you're already inside, then don't need to type anything. I see whether got a lot of people not inside or not. Okay, let me see. Wow, a lot. Easily about 20 of you. Okay, maybe my team, right, can help me to put up the link for the GoLeap community. Okay, so basically this is a free community. Okay, this is a free community. Okay, where we actually talk about a lot of things. Okay, later on I will share with you. There's also a Telegram. Okay, but this whole community, right, we also want to promote one thing, and that is affiliates. Okay, so obviously at Next Level Academy, what do? We actually run courses. Okay, and one thing that I always believe in is in the past number of years, right, we have actually spent a lot of money, okay, on advertisement. Okay, how many of you know how much money we spend on advertisement? You make a guess. How much money at our highest point? How much do we spend a month on advertisement? 1 month. How much do you think we spend? You make a guess. Okay, 100K, 150K, 10K. Okay, I think it is close to, possibly close to 800K to $1 million. Okay, not this year. Okay, this was a few years back. Okay, we were spending close to about 800K to $1 million a year. Okay, in the last few years, we have been reducing significantly. I told my team that we shouldn't give Meta so much money. We shouldn't give Google so much money. Okay, I say that, hey, if you want to give all this money to Google, to all the advertiser out there, right, I rather you give it to the community. I say that you give the community Okay, I rather I give them the affiliate fee and everything, right? Okay, then they can invite their friends to learn more. Then at the same time, they can even make money. How many of you think that this is a good idea? If you think it's good, type G for good. Okay, so that is also why in the last few years, okay, we have significantly reduced in terms of the marketing and everything, the dollar and everything, okay, way lower, and we have been trying to ramp up in terms of the affiliate portion. Okay, that means we rather give you guys all the benefit, okay, instead of giving to Meta and Google and all that. Okay, they are still good company, but I rather give it to you guys. Okay, and at the same time, we have also started to engage you guys more in terms of the community. Okay, we believe that investing is not to do it alone. We have to do it together as well. Right. Okay, invalid address. Okay, maybe let me just take a quick look. Yeah, I think it works. It works. Yeah, it works. Okay, so that is why we have also created this GoLeap Pioneer group. Okay, which I hope not I hope okay, I hope that you are already inside. Okay, yeah, because inside this Telegram is absolutely free. Okay, I'll be sharing all my investing and trading insights for people who have been inside. You get flooded by me for every single day. Okay, yeah. Okay, not a lot, okay, but every time I see any important information, okay, almost on a daily basis, I will update inside the investing and trading insights. Then, of course, on a weekly basis, we also share AI tools and tricks for people who are interested into AI and all that, right? Okay, these are all free information for everybody. Any important announcement, like all these live and everything, right, we will all put it inside. Okay, so if you have been following Next Level and everything, right, make sure that you are also in this Telegram and make sure that you're actually on the notification. Okay, so that you get notified whenever there's any messages that actually comes in. Okay, now, of course, we also want to give back to you guys. Okay, so we also want to grow this community, but at the same time, we are thinking, how can we actually, help you guys and let you guys also benefit to a certain extent from this as well. So that's why we are going to launch this Gold Telegram Challenge. Okay, so this will happen. The validity is only until the end of this week, Sunday 2359. Okay, so how is it going to work? You can see over here, right? Okay, you can see over here. Okay, once you join the Gold so-called community group, right? The resource page earlier on, right? Okay, you will be able to go to this thing called a campaign. Later, I will show you exactly how to come to this particular page. Okay, then you have your own personal unique link. So what you need to do, right, is go to this particular link. Okay, this is the official Gold Telegram channel. This link. Okay, you share it with your friend. Okay, and whenever your friend click on they join the Telegram, which is free, you get $1. Okay, yeah, so it's as simple as that. Okay, your friend don't have to pay, you don't have to pay. Okay, as all you need to do is just share it with as many friends as you can, and every friend that join in the Telegram successfully, $1. Okay, so we want to also encourage people who are more active, okay, and really reward people who are more active, right? So if you refer 20 to 49, right, we will double it. So let's say you refer 20%. So you get $20. Then 20 times 2. So actually you get $40. Like MLM. No, this is better than MLM. Okay, MLM, you still need to buy a product. This one don't need to buy anything. Okay, then of course for people who actually, you have a lot of friends and everything, right? You refer more than 50 leads. Okay, more than 50. Okay, we will multiply by 5. So for example, if you refer 100 people to join the Telegram, okay, 100 is $100, right? I multiply by 5. So that is $500. So from now until end of this week, you just send to your friend, 100 of them sign up, right? You get additional 500 to spend for 11. Okay, yeah. So now tonight, later on, you can spend first $500. Then you work hard to earn back your $500. Okay, how many of you think that this is a good challenge? You type in GC for good challenge. Okay, yeah. So I hope you all earn as much money as you can. Okay, of course, requirement. Okay, please send to Singapore and mainly Singapore. I mean, we will verify basically we'll verify to make sure that the Telegram and the number, everything is correct. Please don't anyhow, just anyhow put in the email and everything. Okay, any invalid will not be considered. Okay, any invalid will not be considered. Just really send it to your friend, get them to join and really get them to go and watch the Telegram. There's a lot of information in there. So, okay, next, I want to ask you guys, okay, how many of you here, right, are our NLO MBA 2 days program graduate? You have attended one. Okay, type in MBA. How many graduate over here? Do we have any? This is by Rachel, and beyond. You should see them. Okay, the 2 days one. Okay, quite a number of you. Okay. How many of you have yet to join this one? Have yet to join this? Type 0. Or you don't know what is this, you type 0. I see how many of you first. Okay, this is the 2-day options and value investing class. Okay, I will say that this is the class that this is one of the most comprehensive one because if you're totally new to investing, you get to learn about value investing, you learn about options, you learn about technical analysis, you learn about portfolio sizing, everything in 2 days. Okay, let me look at the chat. Quite a number. Okay, some of you don't have. Okay, so for those of you who have already signed up, okay, for those of you who have already signed up and graduate, okay, I hope you don't be angry because today I want to do something special. Okay, yeah, can you promise me or not? Can you promise me don't be angry? If you can promise me, you type P. For those of you who have already graduated, okay, please don't be angry with me, okay, because today 11/11, so I want to do something special for all the people over here. Okay, I can. Thanks a lot, Hock Tong and also Ben. Yeah, I think Hock Tong just attended last weekend only. Okay, yes. Okay, so what we're going to do is you can see, typically, right, okay, the price that we charge, I can see these are all the reviews, okay, coming from all the students and everything. And we have like 4.8 stars. So y'all can go and Google, for our review and all that. Super amazing. Okay, typically, this is the price. In fact, I would say that this price already is super low. 2 days, 2 full day online class are $97. I already feel that it's super undervalued. Okay, but I know a lot of people still not inside yet. Okay, that's why I want to do something even special. Okay, how many of you want discount one? If you want discount, type D. D for discount. If you want discount, type D. How many of you? So for those who haven't joined yet, okay, if you want discount, right, you help me to type D. Chloe has this at attend both attend both Okay, you have to know where did Chloe graduate from. Okay, I used to be Chloe trainer back in 2000, and I think 2016, 2017. Okay, yeah, so this is the place that have created a lot of people who then later on open their own courses. Yeah, I think it's good. I think we also don't go and find people, hey, how come you go and open your own courses and everything? Okay, I think for us, we are always like, if you really want to open your own stuff, then so be it. Okay, I joined her OMI. Yes, yeah. Okay, can re-attend. Okay, for those of you who attended before, right, but you want to re-attend, typically you have to pay the full price. Okay, so that's why for people who want to re-attend, I highly encourage you to do that also. Okay, today really special price. Okay, yeah, for some of you attended the long 3 days one, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, many years back, got Pete, got Chloe and all that. Okay, yeah, so last time the price was also higher. Okay, yeah, correct or not? Last time the price was also higher. Okay, but right now 97 already is super good deal. Okay, yes, with me also. Okay, but guys, today I have a very special price. Okay, 79 instead of 97, I rotate. Okay, but guys, how many of you want even more discount? If you want even more discount, you type in more. Type in M for more. Okay, 79 already super good. But I really want to give you guys the best. Okay, so guys, today only, okay, this is not today from now until the end of this week, right? Okay, using the link inside your GoLeap, later I will show you where to actually get them, okay, it will be 49. Okay, in fact, we still have all our preview session that's actually ongoing. If you go attend the preview, right, it will be the usual price, $97. Okay, maybe I'll share it with you all first. How